Hey guys, how you going? I'm back. Okay. Disclaimer first. Everything I say here is not fact until proven so. Okay, so take everything with a grain of salt. It is opinion only. That's for YouTube. And we're going to go through some of the debate today. It is 9/11 over in the US. We're going to talk about that. We will talk about some Australia stuff, some UK stuff, and a lot of stuff from the US. Okay, the debate. They're eating the dogs. Trump calls out Kamala Harris for her open border policies and the migrants who are eating the ducks and pets. Video update. Here's the proof. Okay, so we have Trump and Kamala having the debate, which was quite interesting. I'll get more into that shortly. President Trump called out Kamala Harris during the presidential debate on her open border policies. Trump brought up the immigrants eating dogs, cats and ducks. They're eating the dogs. ABC fact-checked Trump, but Trump fired back against the far-left hack. Update, Laura Loomer brings the receipts. The Haitians were eating the geese and ducks. ABC lied about this to attack President Trump. They need to fact-check themselves. Laura Loomer said fact-check. During the presidential debate tonight, Kamala Harris and ABC said there were no credible reports of Haitian immigrants eating people's pets and local geese. That's a lie. Here's a copy from the Springfield Police Communications, Ohio, which proves police did in fact encounter Haitian illegals who each killed a goose. Read the highlighted sections. 2 males, 2 females, all Haitians. Each had 2 geese, 4 geese stolen. They were speaking Haitian Creole. Kamala Harris and ABC are lying, and here is the police report. Okay. What does it say here? Let me see if I can. Called up and referred them onto DCNR. I don't know. I can't read it. It's too blurry. All my glasses are blurry and they're not working anymore. Okay, watch. Laura Loomer said must watch. Democrat Ohio Senator confronted about the Haitian migrants he voted to import that are now killing and eating people's pets. Today, Laura Loomer unleashed and the Charles Down, confronted Ohio Democrat Senator Sherrod Brown, and we asked him what he thinks about the disturbing reports that came out this weekend about Haitian immigrants, the same Haitian migrants he voted to import into Ohio that are now killing and eating people's pets. We asked Senator Brown how he felt if a Haitian migrant ate his dogs. Senator Brown has 2 dogs. Their names are Franklin and Walter, otherwise known as lunch and dinner to the new Haitian invaders who Senator Brown voted to import into his state. It's the first day back for members of Congress who are on a month-long vacation. Sherrod Brown has endorsed border czar Kamala Harris for president. The Biden-Harris regime has imported over 20,000 cannibalistic Haitians who are now killing people's pets and hunting domestic animals on the streets of Ohio. Ohio Democrat Senator Sherrod Brown voted to extend temporary protective status to Haitians and also voted against stopping the taxpayer-funded flights from Haiti to the US. He ran into the Democrat Senatorial Campaign Committee office to run away from our questions. Vote for Bernie Moreno for US Senate. Bernie will help secure our border and he won't allow Haitian invaders to eat your dogs and cats for dinner. Okay, let's have a little look and a little listen. Let's get back to the beginning.
Senator Brown, real fast.
Appreciate you.
How would you feel if an illegal
Haitian? We're happy to.
No, we're on a sidewalk, so I'm going to ask it real quick. How do you feel about illegal Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio, eating dogs?
Senator Brown,
Would you be happy if an illegal alien ate your dog, Senator Brown?
Senator,
you did allow illegal Haitians into America via your votes with Boris Czar Harris, Senator Brown. Would you like to comment? Senator, do you think we should decriminalize fentanyl, like what Kamala Harris says? Do you agree with Kamala Harris that we should decriminalize fentanyl?
Any thoughts on what this?
Senator Brown, one more time.
I don't think that.
How would you feel if an illegal immigrant Haitian ate your dog, considering you allowed all these illegal immigrants into Ohio based off your voting record by giving Haitians amnesty. Would you like to comment?
He knows what I think. I mostly know what he thinks. He's pretty.
Thanks, Senator.
All right, thanks, you guys.
Have a good rest of your day.
Senator Brown, a lot of your constituents are worried about their dogs getting eaten in Springfield. Would you like to comment? Oh, you're gonna go into the DSCC. Would you like to comment on your voting record? Which allowed illegal Haitians into Ohio? You voted to give them all amnesty, Senator Brown. Would you like to comment? No?
Hello.
All right.
Okay, so he ran away. Okay, this one from Deport Foreign Criminals said they're still looking. Have they tried looking in his home at Pakistan? Posted on the 3rd of August 2022 at 3:28 in appeals. Sunan Mahmood, 30, from the Bradford area, is wanted in connection with a serious sexual offence in Western Supermare. Mahmood is described as Asian with short black hair, a full beard, hazel eyes and of slim build. He has links to Bradford, Leeds and the West Yorkshire area. If you see Sunan Mahmood, don't approach him. Instead, call 999, quoting reference 521 811 8658, or ring 101 and ask for Avon and Somerset Police with another information. Okay. Richard Tice MP said, danger, our streets will be more dangerous tonight as hundreds of extra criminals are let out early. Madness. Instead, just deport the 10,000 foreign criminals blocking our jails and costing us taxpayers millions. 1,700 prisoners will be released today in the UK, apparently. Great idea from the, absolute dead shits in charge. Okay. Anthony Scalise said Australians first, shut the gates and mass deport. Sounds like we're all in the same boat, doesn't it? And we're not in this boat here. We demand to live safely. Safety. Safely? Yeah, so do we. Now, fuck off. Seriously. Sorry for swearing, but that's where we're at right now. Okay, Nigel Farage said Keir Starmer has released 1,700 dangerous criminals from prison. There are thousands more planned. He should deport the 10,000 foreign nationals in our prisons instead. I won't play that whole thing. It's 12 minutes long, but I will retweet it. There you go. I'll retweet that one too. Oh dear, repost them, sorry. Jake Slade said find them, detain them and deport them. Found an amusing little law, Illegal Immigration Reform and Responsibility Act of 1996. Not repealed. Non-citizens who vote must be deported. Is that in the US? That's what I'm thinking it is. But there is a amusing little law called Illegal Immigration Reform and Responsibility Act of 1996. That would be interesting to have a look at. DC Drano said guarantee Kamala knew the debate questions in advance in their exact order. Her answers were far too scripted. Remember when the DNC shared debate questions with Hillary during her primary run to help beat Bernie? This is standard practice for Dems. Carl Becker said you can't tell me based on Kamala Harris's rehearsed answers to the scripted questions that she didn't get advance notice about the debate. She knew what questions were coming. Take it to the bank. And I agree. That's what it looked like. Too well prepared compared to how she normally is. She normally talks to us like we're all children, and in fact like she's one too. Okay. Brianna Morello said, remember back in 2016, Donna Brazil provided Hillary Clinton with the debate questions. Brazil tipped Clinton off to a question regarding a mother in Flint, Michigan. And there's this. Emails popping back up. Hi, yes, it is one she gets asked about. Not everyone likes her answer but can share it. Bet Zeta, can you send her answer on death penalty? Sent from my iPhone. On March, Donna Brazil wrote, here's one that worries me about HRC, death penalty. 19 states and the District of Columbia have banned the death penalty. 31 states, including Ohio, still have the death penalty, according to the National Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty since 1973. 156 people have been on death row and later set free. Since 1976, 1,414 people have been executed in the US. That's 11% of Americans who were sentenced to die but later exonerated and freed. Should Ohio and the other 30 states join the current list and abolish the death penalty? If you look, they're trying to abolish the death penalty for themselves. They know what's coming. And they're trying to stop it. They did it here in Australia. They got rid of the death penalty. But I think some of our politicians should go to America for their sentencing, because they were interfering in things they should not have been interfering in. Josh Dunlap said, fact-checked and true. Kamala failed the bar, so did Michelle Obama, so did Hillary Clinton. Raised the bar, Donald Trump. Kamala failed the bar. AOC worked at the bar. Nancy lives at the bar. Biden can't spell the bar, and Hillary should be behind bars. Okay, Real Roberts said, so it turns out the FBI attempted to overthrow the US government on behalf of Hillary Clinton in 2016. And the CIA toppled the United States government at the behest of CIA Director Gina Haspel on behalf of Joe Biden in 2020. Let's have a little listen to this. Okay, for some reason my audio wasn't working. I had to shut it all down and start again. Let's have a go.
Fabricated evidence, and they lied to the courts, and they did all sorts of things to have it go their way. And this was something that we can never allow to happen again. The report actually, and especially when you look into it, and the details of the report are far worse than anything I would have even imagined. What they were doing and what they would have done if I didn't make a certain move that was a very important move, because it would have been even worse if that's possible. And they might have been able to succeed. This was an overthrow of government. This was an attempted overthrow, and a lot of people were in on it, and they got caught. They got caught red-handed. And I look forward to the Durham report, which is coming out in the not-too-distant future. It's got his own information, which is this information plus. And it's an incredible thing that happened, and we're lucky we caught him. I think I'm going to put this down as one of our great achievements, because what we found and what we saw, never, ever should this happen again.
Ooh, they have it all. And I heard plus. New York Post said spies who lie were CIA contractors when they falsely implied Hunter Biden laptop was Russian fake. Kash Patel said Gina Haspel, director of the CIA, approved a 51 intel letter that falsely portrayed Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation in less than 6 hours. It took a half a day to rig an election against real Donald Trump. How is it exactly she got hired by Chris Wray's fancy law firm upon leaving government? Maybe the same way Rod Rosenstein, who signed the illegal FISA against Trump, also left government to work at Wray's fancy law firm. You picking up what I'm putting down? There she is. Okay, and that's in response to a Muse Hunter Biden trial June 5th. The FBI confirms that Hunter Biden's laptop was never altered or tampered with. They were able to compare the contents of the hard drive with an iCloud backup of the contents obtained via a search warrant served on Apple. Okay. So Shipwreck said, isn't it weird that the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, trending the same couple days that Haiti, Hillary Clinton releases her new book? Seems weird. Yeah, the Haitian. Okay, let's have a listen.
Hillary Clinton has come out with her brand new book called Something Lost and Something Gained, and it is about her transition from a human being to a lizard person. I'm just kidding. It's her memoir. It's a joke TikTok. Just released this week, and she's so excited to share it with you, and I just find it so fucking weird that it's the same week that is constantly trending about the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, and how they're snatching up people's allegedly snatching up people's pets. This is according to like Facebook posts and things. Guy came out at the city council meeting and he's talking about the ducks at the pond. There's another video of a lady, and you've seen it all. It's been like trending, like the memes, like people are calling for it to be addressed at the debate tonight. On the same couple days when Haiti Hillary comes out with her new book. I wonder I wonder if she addresses what happened in Haiti in her new book. I wonder if she talks about all the good work that she's doing there. She gets into the kids that went missing during the earthquake out there in Haiti. People are going to revisit her emails where they talk about all of this. I wonder if she mentions it in her new book. Probably not. Just find it ironic. That's all.
Yeah, and Laura
Clinton.
Silsby. Did you say she finds it erotic or neurotic? I hope it was neurotic. Very different meanings, those two. Okay, Chris Stigall said 8 years ago today they told us this wasn't a story we saw with our own eyes either. A lifeless Hillary Clinton being loaded into the back of a van like a golf bag. Do you remember this? Okay. I think we all remember this. Well, most of us do anyway. She lost a shoe, she couldn't walk. Bit of Kuru there, love. I think she might have a bit. Who else thinks so? Yeah, they loaded her in there like a big old golf bag. Okay, there's just the same thing over again. Not Elon Musk said, do you wish tonight's debate was being hosted by me on X? I would prefer that, actually, because it was so biased that the ABC were fact-checking Donald Trump and not Kamala Harris. Funny they fact-checked Joe Biden, though. Doge Designer said, remember when Donald Trump said, I don't know if it's good for Elon politically to have supported me? He was right. The Biden-Harris administration, Obama should be in there too, seems determined to target Elon Musk and his companies just because he chose to support Trump.
Elon is a very different kind of a guy. He's a very big believer in the country, but he's very worried about the country. He's very worried about the country. And I don't know if it's good for him politically to have supported me, although I think we have a vast majority of this country does support me. But Elon, more than almost anybody I know, I mean, he loves this country. He loves the concept of the country. But like me, he says this country is in big trouble. It's in tremendous danger. Elon
There you go. Elon loves the country, just like Trump. Sorry, guys, I cannot keep the volume at any certain place. It has to be adjusted constantly. So, yeah, sorry, guys. When Trump first spoke, it was very loud. Doge Designer also said if Donald Trump wins, we do have an opportunity to do kind of once-in-a-lifetime deregulation and reduction in the size of government. Elon Musk.
If Trump wins, and obviously I suspect there are people with mixed feelings about whether that should happen, but we do have an opportunity to do kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deregulation and reduction in the size of government.
I meant to press pause there. Sorry, guys. But he's right. And you'll see here, I've just got to keep checking this volume, guys. Just bear with me. Okay, Elon docs. Elon Musk 11 years ago, over time the body of laws and regulations grows and grows and grows. I think it's not ultimately good for society. The natural bias of regulations is to last forever unless they're actively deleted. You have to actively delete a regulation or a law the way things are set up. Some laws have sunset provisions, and the problem with that is you get vested interests. I'll let him say it, actually, because he's saying the same thing.
The natural bias of regulations is to last forever unless they are actively, you have to actively delete a regulation or a law, the way things are set up in most laws. Some laws have sunset provisions. And the problem with that is you get vested interests who like that law, and there's an inertia around it. And so over time, the body of law and regulations grows and grows and grows. And it is something that I think is not ultimately good for society. So in fact, I think it would generally be a good idea to have it such that it's hard to establish a rule and easy to remove one. The natural bias.
I agree with him. There's too many rules and regulations and laws that should be gone by now. Okay, this one from Elon Musk. Sorry, I went on trending and found like Elon Musk, Hillary and all that sort of stuff on there. So if it looks like I'm just posting from one person, there's probably a reason. Okay, Elon Musk shared this. This is a Springfield City Commission meeting. Let's have a listen. I'll check first with the volume. Okay.
Odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for going left to center and a couple miles over, y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol knows so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic. They need to, y'all pay them, they can go over there and teach these Haitians how to drive, because it's getting bro, I'm getting thousands of views on these, and it's going to get bigger, and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of $1,000s. Y'all need to put on a T-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. We got to do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt. Only reason I even went on here and said something about it is because somebody told me they walking from the school and a Haitian almost ran into them. And who is getting paid? How much money is y'all really getting paid, to bring them over here? I know it's deeper than them. I know that's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, step up. It's lame, bro. For real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
I think it's
Oh, I agree with him. Again, the people who can't integrate into your way of living, into the country's way of living, should not be there. Elon Musk again said national rent control will destroy the incentive to build new housing. National food price controls on supermarkets, which only have a few % profit margin, means empty shelves just like Venezuela. And they're trying to do the same thing here in Australia. And yeah, your housing's going to go downhill. Unburdened by what has been. Yep, no more food. Zero Hedge said first, food price controls, now rent and housing. Well, that's not going to work out. It didn't work out well for us, so yeah, I don't think it's going to work out well. I don't know if they passed it here, actually. They tried to pass a rent and housing thing. Nick Sautor said CNN just blasted Kamala Harris for dodging multiple questions on the economy, border and other issues. This is extremely telling. Wow, CNN. Well, the ABC was the one who did the debate, so CNN are even having a go at them. If the moderators weren't simply Kamala propagandists, maybe they would have pressed her. Does anyone actually believe Kamala won the debate at this point? Let's have a look.
Vice President Harris began the debate by punting the first question on the economy.
Do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America.
It went on from there. Despite the economy being the #1 issue facing the country, the sitting vice president generally reverted to talking points about a few of her policy proposals. Even Harris allies today are saying that she needs to talk more about what she will do for Americans if elected. Senator Bernie Sanders will be here in a second to talk about more about the need for her to fill in some of those blanks. On the border, another vulnerable issue for Harris, she also dodged.
Would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings.
Do you notice she never answers the question? Because that's the first thing I notice. Do you answer the question? No, she doesn't.
Okay, that wasn't the question. When asked how she would break through the Israel-Hamas war stalemate, Harris said this.
We need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that.
Okay, but again, how?
How? Exactly. She's not telling anyone how she's going to do anything. But it's funny that CNN is now turning on her. Okay, Brandon Tatum said, just more proof that these ABC moderators were the furthest thing from moderators. Kamala Harris repeated the same lie that Trump called neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. Joe Biden was fact-checked, but Kamala Harris was not? No, of course not. Trump did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. No, he didn't. Do we want to see actually what he said?
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And you had some very bad people in that.
There you go. He didn't call them very fine people. He said apart from them. Okay, Apex said the ABC hosts are full of shit. Debate 2024. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. Are people trying to eat pets in Ohio? Fact check. True. This woman here. What did you try and do?
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile over the teeth. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with him.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased. What did you do?
Okay, woman arrested for allegedly killing cat, eating it in front of neighbours. Not only that, I saw some guy, oh my God. Don't look it up on Twitter or X or whatever it is, right? Because I saw someone actually trying to twist a cat's head off. It's disgusting. I don't even know what to say. An eye for an eye? I don't know. Someone try and do it to them. Mark Jambon said very suitable for Starmer as he's proven to be a huge dickhead. New government seal. Official announcement, this one here, right? This new government seal. The government today announced that it is changing its emblem from a Union Jack to a condom because more accurately reflects the government's political stance. A condom allows for inflation, halts production, destroys the next generation, protects a bunch of pricks, and gives you a sense of security while you're actually being screwed. Damn, it just doesn't get more accurate than that, does it? That's a joke, by the way, in case YouTube thinks it's not. Joseph D. McBride, Esquire, said, are people trying to eat pets in Ohio? Fact check, true. The same lady again. Even Andrew Tate's commenting on it. Cats and dogs for dinner. Oh, dear. Yeah, and okay, this one here. Quantum T Institute. I mean, it's Eric Swalwell, you know, the total dickhead that was actually on the Intelligence Committee while having relations with a confirmed Chinese spy. Conservative brief. What the hell is this? Watch as Rep Eric Swalwell goes completely bonkers over an over an AI meme of Donald saving the cats and ducks from being eaten by Haitians in Ohio. You have to watch this performance. Do you believe pets are being eaten in Springfield, Ohio? Let's have a look at this half-wit.
What in the hell is this? The chairman tweets, protect our ducks and kittens in Ohio because he goes down some crazy rabbit hole, completely debunked that aliens are eating pets? My God. Are you okay, Mr. Chairman? Because last year, for a very long time, you tweeted and promoted Kanye West as he was calling for genocide against the Jews, and you kept it up. And now, when we have victims coming here, you're tweeting this nonsense. I don't know why you would do this. I hope you're okay. I don't know if the aliens who are eating your ducks are in the room with us right now, but Mr. Chairman, this is a serious issue. These people have loved ones who have been lost, and you tweeted this.
Well, yes, it's true. There you go.
What in the hell is this?
Okay, we don't need to hear it again. All theatre. Clown Down Under said Australia's becoming a third world cesspit. Apparently there was, this is in Adelaide, bus smashed in violent attack. When I first saw this, I thought, I don't know why, but I thought this was in America before I'd seen the 7 News and thought that was a cat he had in his arms. No, it just disturbed me that bad that, I was, oh my God. Okay, don't worry about it. Nation First by George Christensen said the Albanese government just announced they're going to ban children from social media, but there's a catch. They won't do it for 2 years. So why the delay? If I were to speculate, I'd say it's because they need time to roll out their shiny new national digital ID system. And I really don't think that it's ready. Is this a thread? Oh dear God, it is. Okay. The digital ID system is being rolled out after the Digital ID Act passed the Australian Parliament earlier this year. So soon you'll have to have a digital ID to access social media. This isn't about protecting kids, it's about control. And if this is the case, I won't be on social media. If they do this, I'll be no. Whether they'll openly admit it or not, the government needs age verification tied to digital ID for its plan to work. Without it, the law is meaningless. Big tech have said so themselves. The Digital Trust and Safety Partnership, DTSP, is made up of a variety of big tech outfits, including Google and Apple. They've said age assurance will likely require a collection of new personal data such as facial imagery or government-issued ID. Once it's digital, it's linked to social media. You're not just a name on a screen, you're traceable. No more anonymity or privacy. Everything you post is tied to your real name, and that's the plan. Digital ID will be mandatory if you want a voice in today's online world. And we're not just talking about your name and birthday making up your ID. They're after your biometric data too. Facial scans, fingerprints. These are the tools they use to track everything you do. Tom Parker from Reclaim the Net put it plainly, many online age verification methods require users to hand over copies of their identity documents to undergo facial recognition. Two types of data that have been subject to major data breaches in the past. Think about that, a facial scan or your government ID just to comment on social media. That's not safety, that's surveillance. And once you hand it over, there's no going back. A former Liberal minister proposed using digital ID for age verification with social media, that former minister also suggested using digital ID to strip away anonymity on social media. It doesn't matter which faction of the uni party is in power, they want to make sure no one can hide and that no one can criticise without them knowing exactly who you are. On one level, this idea is being driven by corporate media giants and their real motive is financial. Media outlets are blocked in a battle with Meta, demanding money for their news stories that are shared on Facebook and Instagram, from which Meta makes money. Money, money, money. News Corp has been pushing an agenda to ban children from social media and push for age verification, complete with campaign slogan, "Let them be kids," and their own petition on leftwingchange.org website. Activist reporting has convinced many. One poll showed 61% support for banning kids from social media, while another showed 69% support. Both polls were commissioned by media outlets that stand to cash in if Meta pays them for news stories shared to Facebook and Instagram. Regardless, popularity doesn't make something right. Democracy isn't just two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. True democracy survives when we protect the liberty of the minority, especially the right to free speech and privacy. I like that, Shaun the Sheep. Over a decade ago, the Rudd Labor government had the opportunity to protect children online by implementing internet filtering, a measure they had promised at an election, but despite the public commitment, they backed away from it. If they were truly concerned about protecting kids, why didn't they follow through on the internet filtering? Now we're expected to believe that banning children from social media is all about safeguarding them from harm, but is that what's really going on? Well, it's the parents. It's up to the parents, not the government. The reality is there is something else at play, and it's far more concerning. As Reclaim the Net pointed out earlier this year, there's been a global upsurge in such age verification laws. This is because this pushes part of a worldwide agenda aimed at ending online anonymity and pushing for the adoption of digital ID systems. Another article in The Verge warned of this global trend coming from as far back as early 2023. This isn't an issue that has cropped up originally in countries such as France, Canada, the UK, the US and Australia. The World Economic Forum, WEF, is among the elite groups pushing this agenda, openly criticising online anonymity as a problem that fuels polarisation. Then there's the UN Global Digital Compact, which includes age verification, but also anti-free speech measures like fighting disinformation and hate speech, establishing government-run social media councils, more e-safety commissioners, and more cybercrime laws. Is that what we want? In Australia, it appears we are ahead of the game with e-safety commissioner, digital ID laws, and now age verification for social media. They'll tell us it's about protecting kids, but we know what it's really about. Yep, let's watch this kangaroo push the guy in. Yes, exactly. Social media certainly isn't a safe space for kids. There's plenty of filth, porn, predators, and brain-numbing content. But you don't strip away freedoms under the guise of protection. Linking digital IDs to social media attacks privacy, anonymity, and free speech. Once we lose those freedoms, they're done for good. The digital world will morph into a monitored space where free speech is gone. The whole let's ban kids from social media ploy is nothing but a Trojan horse for the bigger agenda, digital ID surveillance and control. And there you go. Well done. First Nation by George Christensen. Very well done. And that needs to be shared. Okay. Save our streets, said Melbourne has become a shithole under Victorian Labor. Time to get tough on these pointless protesters. Cancel their welfare. Police horses pelted with poo, tomatoes, roadblocks as protests turn ugly. In Melbourne, there was a big protest from the Palestinian backers. Crystal Mitchell said they've levelled up to Hamas-style activities, throwing acid in the face of police. And to think 2 years ago, a group of us just wanted to march along the street for the sake of democracy, and the side that cursed us, screamed for us to be shot at, and revelled in the arrest of freedom protesters, is the side actually committing real criminal offences and protesting unlawfully. Here's our fiery but mostly peaceful protests. Members of Parliament who supported people's right to peaceful protest were outcast. MP David Limbrick and Tim Coulty. I wonder if the Greens MPs who said they were attending today's protest will be condemned for doing so, given the side they have chosen to support is committing significant acts of violence to protect against acts of violence. Make that make sense. Sky News Australia said dozens of people have been arrested after violent protests against a defence expo in Melbourne, with police confirming some officers were sprayed with acid as well as being hit with rocks and horse poo. There you go. America as far just spit out my drink. The Babylon Bee said woman who made career singing about her bad choices endorses Kamala. Let that one sink in. Oh, she did. Made bad choices about men, but yeah, she's endorsing Kamala. Guaranteed it won't be any better than her choices on men. Sky News Australia said the furious boss of Victoria Police is unleashed on the Greens and labelled protesters hypocrites after violent scenes unfolded on the streets of Melbourne as a defence expo was being held. There you go. Shadow of Ezra said in the debate against Kamala Harris, Trump referenced this undercover video featuring Nancy Pelosi's daughter where she admits that J6 was a hoax and staged insurrection. Let's have a listen.
Local media every day, you can't have a fair trial.
Well, the reason, see, I think time is going to remember January 6th differently. Right now, people are still in the heat of them. There's two things. Media needs stuff to fill. I mean, if you watch TV on January 6th, it was like January 6th, 24/7. As time goes on, it's going to be less. And so I think also people are going to lose their office, the jobs. The people that were there are going to lose their jobs. So it's not going to mean anything if you weren't even there and you don't even care.
We need like a war to break out.
Yeah, no, it's right. Okay, I thank you for your time.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen, I really, I know you're not the bad guy. I mean, if there is, I haven't found the bad guy yet, but if there is, I know you're not the bad guy.
I mean, he's like a stereotypical bad guy.
But the thing is, why I asked you the question of like, so what was the plan? Is that if there was an insurrection, you were supposed to be in line marching. You're in the military, you know this.
No, that's
you were supposed to have a plan.
Exactly. It's called operations order. You sit down overnight with your soldiers. You go over. All right. You're going to go here. You're going to go in by this side. At this time, we're going to take over this. There's none of that.
If there was an insurrection, it's the sorriest insurrection in the 20th, 21st century ever. No guns.
A guy smoking pot.
I love the guy.
Yeah, I like.
Well, we did that. We just went to New Hampshire last week for the guy that just was drinking beer.
My favorite guy.
And there you go. That was the lamest insurrection they've ever seen. Anyway, they said it themselves. Okay, and Alexandra Marshall said this kid did a better job than the entire CFMEU, which is a union here in Australia. Harrison Schneck said, unpopular opinion, but teaching your kids how to work like this is one of the best things you can do for them, and I agree. Look, I've got grandsons who are so bored with school. Well, one of them is. He's got ADHD, apparently, allegedly. I think he would benefit more from living on acres and doing work at home and being taught English and maths, of course, but doing stuff like this, you know? Okay, I'll cut that music off because I'm sure YouTube will not allow that. So, okay, hopefully I won't get a copyright. It was a couple of seconds worth of clip until I realised. See, look at the good job this child is doing. Mate, you are a little legend. You really are. Oh, God love him. Look at him go. Such a good job. Little man, there you go. See, I'd love to see my grandkids doing stuff like this. And I think that's fantastic, really. And I believe that's instead of like putting ADHD kids, you know, in school to sit for how many, 6 hours a day, homeschool, you can probably get away with the English and maths and stuff like that, 2 or 3 hours, and the rest of the time they could be out doing stuff like that. Proud Army Brat said in Shanksville, PA, Biden puts on a Trump hat. Kamala was in the room at the time. Is Biden swapping over? Is he leaving the Democrats? Oh, dear. No, he's just brainless. Nick Sautor said President Trump just posted this. The left's going to have a stroke. Yeah. Especially Swalwell. MAGA cats. Go the cats. Okay, Stephen said, it's illegal to climb a rock, but okay for them to burn the flag. Yep, press hard. If you've had enough of the Aboriginal victimhood industry, yes, the victimhood one. Look, I'm all for helping Aboriginals here in Australia, but, you know, you should not be doing that for a start. And also, Australia should not be cordoned off so that only certain people can attend certain sites, you know. Hey, but that's just me. Libs of TikTok said unreal. Kamala's blaming Trump for the border crisis. And here's the video of her being appointed border czar and accepting the position. It'd be a shame if it went viral now, wouldn't it? Let's have a look.
I've asked her, the VP, today, because she's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle and the countries that help. We're going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks stemming the migration to our southern border. So this new surge we're dealing with now started with the last administration, but it's our responsibility to deal with it humanely and to stop what's happening. And so this increase has been consequential, but the vice president's agreed, among the multiple other things that have happened in the meeting, and I appreciate it, agreed to lead our diplomatic effort and work with those nations to accept the returnees and enhance migration enforcement at their borders. We're already talking with Mexico about that. She's already done that. We're going to be dealing with a full team now that we have to be able to deal with the problem here at home, but also to deal with it now in terms of in country. It's not her full responsibility and job, but she's leading the effort, because I think the best thing to do is to put someone who, when he or she speaks, they don't have to wonder about, is that where the president is? When she speaks for me, doesn't have to check with me, she knows what she's doing, and I hope we can move this along. So, Madam Vice President, thank you. I gave you a tough job, and you're smiling. But there's no one better capable of trying to organize this.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and for having the confidence in me. And there's no question that this is a challenging situation. As the President has said, there are many factors that lead President to leave these countries. And while we are clear that people should not come to the border now, we also understand that we will enforce the law, and that we also, because we can chew gum and walk at the same time, must address the root causes that cause people to make the trek, as the President has described, to come here. Needless to say, the work will not be easy, but it is important work. It is work that we demand, and the people of our countries, I believe, need to help stem the tide that we have seen. So thank you, Mr. President, for your comment.
And there you go. In case there was any questions at all, there you go. Laura Luma said, interesting choice of earrings tonight, Kamala Harris. And someone said, I use these new smart earrings to listen to music. They totally surprised me. Very interesting. I wonder if that's what she's got in her ear. She had help somehow. Whether she got fed the questions or whether someone was talking in her ear, who knows? MJ Truth Ultra said, kaboom, Candace Owens dropped a bomb on millions of viewers. Israeli citizens were warned of the 9/11 attack 2 hours before it happened. Ain't it interesting? She's been exposing Israel more since she left the Daily Wire. Israeli citizens were warned of an attack. An instant messaging service called ODIGO, which was Israel's owned and operated, had headquarters located 2 blocks away from the World Trade Center. September 26, 2001, 15 days after the 9/11 attack, a popular Israeli publication named Haaretz said ODIGO workers were warned of the attacks. ODIGO, the instant messaging service, says 2 of its workers received messages 2 hours before the Twin Towers were attacked, predicting the attack would happen around 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Odigo has been cooperating with Israel and American law enforcement, including the FBI, in trying to find the original sender of the message predicting the attack. 2 weeks after 9/11, the CEO of Odigo, Alex Demandis, said the message said something big was going to happen in a certain amount of time, and it did almost to the minute. The Odigo employees did not warn anyone. Israel, our greatest ally, did not warn anyone. The MSM memory hold this story, and nothing further was exposed to the public. Wow. I won't play that whole 5 minutes, but that's interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, Candace Owens said it's so shocking to me that Kamala's entire strategy here is to just appeal to women with emotion. She clearly knows every question and is well rehearsed in making every answer emotional. Why is everything in politics so unbelievably fake and gay? Because of who's running it. Andrew Bogut said also hilarious how we now care about kids' welfare. Rewind just a few short years, locked inside home, on screens all day, kids' sport cancelled, playgrounds closed, etc., etc., etc. But now they care about child welfare? Spare me. Andrew Bogut said parents that want the government to do their jobs are not parents. Legislation can't fix stupid and never will. Because you can't. It's up to the parents, not the government. For goodness sake. Jeff Kennett said if they identify who threw acid at today's protest rally in Melbourne today, that person should be jailed for life. Totally unacceptable by any definition. Closely followed by a Green federal MP leaving Parliament to attend and participate, the Greens have lost the moral authority to serve. I'm wondering if it was the Greens MP that threw the acid. I don't know. Interesting. Colin Rugg said just in, Donald Trump calls for ABC News to get their licence taken away after their abysmal debate moderation last night. Moderators David Muir and Lindsay Davis are under fire for their continuous fact checks of Trump without any for Harris. The moderators not only fact-checked Trump, but they were also caught giving Harris toss-ups during the debate. Harris was able to spew lies such as the Fine People hoax and the bloodbath hoax without any correction from the moderators. There you go. If Harris had a chance to get through to Americans, ABC wrecked it by coddling her live on air in front of millions of American voters. Do Americans want a president who needs constant supervision and protection during debates and negotiations? I sure as hell wouldn't. I hope you don't. The opinionated black woman auntie said in the aftermath of a powerful typhoon in Hainan, China, a sudden blackout exposed a major flaw in the cashless society. With power and water cut off, residents were left scrambling to charge their phones, which only held their only access to money. Unable to even make the simplest purchases like buying a loaf of bread, the incident revealed just how vulnerable a digital-only economy can be in a time of crisis. Cash is king. Yes, this will not. Look at it. This is insane. Everyone's trying to charge their phones so they've got money in a blackout. Well, I hope all the shops that they want to buy from have generators to back it up. What about the internet? Doesn't that go down in a blackout? Or maybe not. No, they don't all go down together. Sometimes the internet's still going, but not your home internet. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to try and work that one out. That's what happens. You can't have a digital ID when this is going to happen. Telling you need cash on you at all times. We had it here in Australia not long ago. Up here where I am, there was a blackout. If you didn't have cash, oh dear. Oz Integrity said, do you remember that time in August 2023 when Albo was asked what he would do if he was a dictator? Well, I'd ban social media. Today, Albo confirmed he's almost halfway there, rolling out new laws to protect kids, which will ban VPNs to social media and require digital ID. There you go. Mr. Poole here thinks Kamala Harris will be removed unofficially tonight. I don't know. I'd like to see it, but I don't know. Then you got Tommy Robinson saying the day after they decided to freeze the British elderly this winter to save money, they've just announced another £600 million of the taxpayers' dollars, money, sorry. They're not dollars, they're pounds. Will go to Ukraine, treacherous scum. They've done it again. They're going to make people freeze and send more money over to Ukraine. Shadow of Ezra said World Trade Center 47-story skyscraper collapsed at 5:20 p.m. on September 11, 2001, despite not being struck by a plane. WTC housed the following tenants: a CIA, the IRS, the Secret Service, the Department of Defense, the New York City Office of Emergency Management, and Securities and Exchange Commission. The BBC reported that Building 7 had collapsed 25 minutes before it actually did, by the way. Yes, if anyone remembers that, the lady was talking in the front and she was reporting the building collapsed behind her, but the building was still there behind her. Yeah, never forget. I think they were getting rid of evidence, considering the following tenants were the CIA, the IRS, the Secret Service, the Department of Defense, the NYC Office of Emergency Management, and Securities and Exchange Commission. And what happened the day before? Weren't they questioned about missing $2 or $3 million or $1 billion? Yes, and they couldn't account for it, remember? Okay. Then we have Wall Street Silver. The new radical left-wing government in Poland has begun to allow in fake refugees. Up until now, Poland has been one of the only European countries without any terrorist attacks and without many cultural enrichment problems. However, the new far leftist government, led by Tusk, has agreed to let the European Union flood Poland with fake refugees. Radio Genoa said patriot patrols have already begun in Poland after the latest recent episodes of violence by fake asylum seekers. The Poles don't joke around. They don't. The little hat people taking over Poland, what? Oh, I think that went over my head. Okay. Mate said both Albo and Dutton, so both sides of our politics here, Liberal and Labor, want to increase the age to access social media for children to protect them. Meanwhile, they've got drag queens reading to children at school. Tell me this is about the children again. It's nothing to do with the children. It is us they're coming on. They're coming upon. Coming after, if you want to put it that way. Sorry, guys. Having a bit of brain fart this morning. A lot of them, actually. Mick Amius. So this is what you call a disgrace to Australia. What's this? More teachers, less cops, more nurses, less cops, more carers, less cops. Mate, go away. Has he cut the bloody Union Jack out of the flag? What the hell? What the hell are they doing? We are one nation, mate, under one flag. Go jump. Define L says, crowd shout, we need you, Donald, in front of Biden, Harris, Schumer. Let's have a listen. I love it. Good on them yelling out, Donald, we love you, we need you. Okay. Ticks of lib TikTok. Oh, my goodness. Tips of LibTok. Kamala ran away the second the debate was over. Sorry, libs of TikTok, of course. Trump stayed in the spin room taking questions from reporters. Kamala ran away. There you go. Pauline Hanson here in Australia said Australia is suffering through a dual housing cost of living crisis driven in large part by Labor's out-of-controlled immigration policy. Yet when Labor considers capping foreign student numbers at 270,000 a year, which is still much too high, way too high, the Greens are outraged and demand that foreign student numbers remain uncapped. This really shows the Greens' disregard and contempt for Australian families experiencing homelessness and mortgage stress. As always, the Greens are putting the interests of foreigners before the interests of the Australian people and Australian university students. There were more than 810,000 international student enrolments in Australian universities as of May this year. That's more than the entire populations of Tasmania and the Northern Territory combined. These same universities, which make billions of dollars a year from these international education, make insufficient provision to house all these students. Last year, it was reported that international students took up about 70% of available rental accommodation in Australia. That's an appalling figure when so many Australians are struggling with rental vacancy rates in mainland capital cities falling to under 1%. International students are also affecting the quality of education for Australian students who are being left behind. So many of them cannot speak English and sit in lectures and seminars with their phones translating for them, or attend lectures in Mandarin. The Greens must learn a simple fact. Record immigration and international student numbers are hurting this country, while the Greens advocate for more immigration, more refugees, and now more international students. Australia owes nothing to foreigners that it does not owe to Australian citizens. In fact, our universities, built and funded by Australian taxpayers, cost approximately $20 to $25 billion a year, including student loans. They are classified as charities and don't pay tax. We have the bull by the horns if we now believe foreign students are more important than Aussies when it comes to education and living standards. What a disgrace. I agree with her, and it should be much less than 270,000 even a year. I'd say take a 0 or 2 off that. Seriously, stop it altogether until we sort it out. Il Donaldo Trumpo said making babies great again. He signed a baby shirt. Oh, that's so cute. The little munchkin. God love him. The big eyes looking at Trump. Okay, Kobe Thatcher said, does anyone know exactly when Australia became so soft and cowardly as a country? Was it when they took our guns or some other point in time? I don't know. I'm thinking 60s and 70s. The hippie generation. I don't know. John Godemsky said Australia started going downhill during the age of Aquarius when multiculturalism helped speed up our descent, followed by the gun removal, then Labor. Australian Labor parody Anthony Albanese said Elon Musk should buy Australia and make it great again. Well, MAGA goes for both America, make America great again, and Australia, make Australia great again. Okay, I witnessed one distinct paradigm shift in the 80s when they A, banned corporal punishment in schools and simultaneously B, diagnosed yard bullies with learning disorders and asserted the kids they beat up were casual, elitist smartasses that antagonised them by being earnest. There you go, this one, Jupy. Affirmative action feminism, early 60s. Well-intended but corrupted. It's no coincidence society's downfall correlates with women garnering more power and influence. Exhibit A. If women don't vote on November 5th, Trump romps in. Yep, when feminism began. There you go. Probably before the 60s then. Feminism started way back, didn't it? Since the lefties took over education, indoctrinated our children, late 70s, early 80s. There you go. Okay. Drew Pavlo said, photos from Melbourne, Australia today. When did Australians vote for this? I don't want this in my country. Fuck off. I agree. Here, mate. Like, tell them to go home. Look, seriously. We need to send them home. Old Soldier said, remember Albo got upset because someone made a meme mocking him? He went to X to get it removed and was rejected. This is personal. Oh, yeah. His digital ID system is very personal, and so is him trying to take down the internet or social media. Okay, then we've got this, Donald Trump. Let's have a listen.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it, and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Hear. Well said, Mr. Trump.
So she just started.
Okay, then we got Old Soldier said no one will be surprised to find out the PM completely ignored the farmers in Canberra today. He just doesn't care. Because the farmers went to Canberra, I believe, to voice their concerns. His agriculture minister didn't attend either. Yep. Wow. Because what they're doing too is they're stopping live sheep exports, which is a big downfall for Australia, money-wise. Kate M said Australia's day of shame. The events that have unfolded in Melbourne today are absolutely disgraceful. Violent protests, equipment destroyed, and accusations that liquid-containing acid was thrown at police. Many individuals went there today with the sole goal of committing acts of violence, because anyone who brings acid to a peaceful protest has the intention of harming others. Peaceful protesters don't show up wearing ski masks or balaclavas either. Although acid is chosen as a weapon in certain countries, we must not tolerate it in this country. And although it shouldn't have to be a concern in Australia, organising a weapons conference in Melbourne was not a smart choice. Melbourne has seen a high number of violent protests than any other location. Why was organising a weapons conference in Melbourne not a smart choice? Okay, there we go. We don't know for sure if it was a... I want to know what our MPs were doing there. And hopefully it wasn't one of them who was throwing acid. Okay, JD Vance said, in the last several weeks, my office has received many inquiries from actual residents of Springfield who've said their neighbours' pets or local wildlife were abducted by Haitian migrants. It's possible, of course, that all of these rumours will turn out to be false. Do you know what's confirmed? That a child was murdered by a Haitian migrant who had no right to be here. That local health services have been overwhelmed, that communicable diseases like tuberculosis and HIV have been on the rise, that local schools have struggled to keep up with newcomers who don't know English, that rents have risen so fast that many Springfield families can't afford to put a roof over their head. Here is Kamala Harris bragging about giving amnesty to thousands of Haitian migrants. If you're a reporter or an activist who didn't give a shit about these suffering Americans until yesterday, I have some advice. Spare your outrage for your fellow citizens suffering under Kamala Harris's policies. Be outraged at yourself for letting this happen. In short, don't let the crybabies in the media dissuade you, fellow patriots. Keep the cat memes flowing. Oh, what did Krasenstein say? This guy is a pedo. Here's a challenge. Post 3 of these emails as well as the names of the individuals who reported. To me, it sounds like you're just making this up and trying to blame random people for it. Hey, Brian Krasenstein, do you know that that's what the left does all the time? They always say, we're getting death threats. I want to see them, the death threats. Who they're from. Funny thing that, isn't it? Okay, Rosita Diaz said pack these activists on a one-way ticket to Gaza. If they wish to fight, let them do it there. We're non-violent. Organisers claim Melbourne protest absolutely peaceful despite widespread violence. See what I mean? Fiery but mostly peaceful protests. Political activists who helped bring Melbourne to a standstill have continued to claim their protest was peaceful despite police being pelted with projectiles and sprayed with acid. There's our, fiery but mostly peaceful. Okay, last one. Donald J. Trump news. Poorly aging Bono vows to drive his car off a cliff if Donald Trump wins the 2024 election. Thoughts? Oh dear, look at him. Wow, mate, wow. There you go. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Hope you can join me. Have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.